Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in this segment of the morning show, Mr. Dwight Stricklin, is the superintendent of Lincoln High School. Mr. Stricklin, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing well. I know you've got your principal, Mr. Dave Helm, there with you as well. Mr. Helm, welcome to you, sir. How are you today?
Things are great.
Good to hear. Homecoming week in Lincoln, Mr. Helm. How's homecoming week going?
Oh, it's going well. We got our student advisory groups decorating their classroom doors. Wacky Olympics is set for tomorrow night. We've had competitions. Today's dress-up day is Twin Day. You'll find your superintendent and principal wearing the same baseball jersey. And, a lot of school spirit going on here.
Dare I ask what baseball jersey we're wearing today, guys?
Lincoln.
Lincoln. Very good. Very good. I was afraid you were going to say White Sox or something traumatic like that. So, but even better, right? Very good. What else is going on this week, Mr. Helm?
Oh, let's see. We got a football game, big homecoming game against Decatur Eisenhower. Looking for a win Friday night. And then homecoming dance scheduled for Saturday night. The Lincoln Community High School Foundation is hosting a breakfast on Saturday morning for alumni to come, and then there's an open house from 10 to 12 where the building's open, self-guided tours, so alumni and the community can come in and check out the high school and all the improvements that we've made.
Like what? What's of note this year, Mr. Helm?
Oh, what's of note? We've upgraded our foods room.
Yeah.
So that's been fully gutted and updated to where our culinary arts students and sewing students and family and consumer science classrooms got a totally updated room. 6 working cooking stations, and then all new sewing machines throughout. That's one highlight of the updates we've done this year. We've also, besides paint and flooring, the school's looking really good.
Yeah, I know. I paid a visit to the school last year, and it had been several years since I'd been in the building. Very much a different look than when I was there, umpteen years ago. I don't want to say how long it was, but it's a very vibrant space now, it feels like.
Yeah, I'm pleased with all the updates that we've done. Beyond putting turf on softball and baseball. But also updating the track, moving the bleachers at the home field for, football, soccer, switching those around. The whole campus is definitely got some major updates in the last 6 years.
So that's a great opportunity to come out and check it out. Again, the when and where on that, Mr. Helm, so folks can maybe write it down for those listening at home.
Well, the alumni breakfast tickets are still on sale. That's Saturday morning from 8 to 10. Here at the cafeteria at the high school. The tickets are pre-sale. They can probably find a link on our website, lchsrailers.org. And then the open house, the building will be open from 10 to noon. Admin will be on hand to, answer questions, and people can come and check out the school.
Very good. So come on out and check it out. Homecoming week at Lincoln High School. And, Mr. Helm, I was telling you before we got started, it felt like when I was at Lincoln High School, it never failed. It seemed to rain every homecoming, whether it was 2 or 3 days. The Friday night football game would be soaked. Maybe the parade would be soaked. How about the parade this year, by the way? When is it? Where is it? What's going on with the parade?
The parade starts at 2:30, lining up on Wyatt Avenue here out by the high school. I was going to do a quick route around downtown. The theme's decades. Everybody's geared up for a nice. We always have a good turnout here at Lincoln community for the homecoming parade.
Sure. So Friday afternoon should be a good time. And then, of course, football game on Friday night. And I'm sure your marching band has a great show set for not only the parade, but also the homecoming football game. How about the band this year, Mr. Helm?
Yeah, the band turned out last Saturday, performed, and received some first place ratings at their competition, both parade and marching band. They're doing a spooky-themed halftime show, but I'm sure they'll be represented in our parade this on Friday, probably playing Lincoln.
Does the high school spearhead the homecoming parade, or who kind of leads that?
Our student council and the student council sponsor, Chris Hammer, who's our calculus teacher, takes care of that.
Mr. Hammer, that's a name folks over here will know. He was my math teacher back in the day too. I don't know if that dates him much at all, but he was still there when I was at Lincoln High School. And so when it comes to the homecoming parade, Mr. Helm, do you happen to know how many entries you have, or is it usually a pretty big parade? I remember back in the day, a lot of folks really turned out for it. It was an exciting time. How about the parade this year? What do you know about it?
Well, they'll be lined up all the way down from with Kickapoo all the way up to Prim Road, Rayler Way. It's definitely a long route, but so if you're in the front of the parade, you can definitely start the parade at the beginning and see the whole thing. I'd imagine it's going to be about 30 minutes of people representing Lincoln and coming home to celebrate the Lincoln Railers.
It's a heck of a homecoming parade. Very good. Well, Mr. Helm, did I miss anything on homecoming week that we haven't touched on yet?
No, I think we got it all.
That's Mr. Dave Helm. He's the principal of Lincoln High School with Superintendent Dwight Stricklin, our guests on the morning show here for today. Well, Mr. Helm, how's the school year going so far? I haven't caught up with you since you got kids back in the building. How are things going?
We've got 4 weeks in. I think that it's a very calm and great place to be. Students are coming in with smiles on their faces. We're having a good time, and we're working hard and having fun.
Any highlights to this point in the year yet?
No, I think our volleyball team's really turning out. Tough loss last night, but beyond that, they're coming out and playing hard. That's
good to hear. They had a lot of success last year, right?
Yes, both volleyball and girls basketball had a lot of success. Last year, all our teams, soccer, boys, girls, volleyball, basketball, even our boys basketball team was successful throughout the year. A lot of track and cross-country wins as well.
Yeah. I'd be curious from you gentlemen's perspective, does the excitement of last year, does it carry over into the next year, you find, or is each school year kind of its own entity, and the things of last year, they were kind of the excitement of last year, and then the new year, there's new things that create excitement. How would you all describe that?
Well, I think every year you have graduates that move on, but there's always a new group to come in to fill those shoes, and there's always those JV players that step up to fill the shoes and work hard. They've been looking up to the all-stars from the senior year. So, I think they're willing and know what they got to do to come in and fill those shoes. So I think there's excitement there from our up-and-coming athletes and participants.
Yeah, the young kids, they're excited to be a part of it, right? That's their opportunity to be a part of what was happening last year and continue that, right?
Very much so.
Yeah, for sure. How about academics, Mr. Helm? Any excitement there? Anything going on? Whether it's I know you've got your student groups. You talked about student council kind of leading the homecoming parade. Any other student groups that have been active yet this year?
We've got a graphics design class that's started up. We're in year 2 of that. We're looking at creating visual arts and promoting. They're really exploring how things are made and digitally portrayed. That's an exciting course that the students are really interested in.
Sure.
We've also got Lincoln's Locker here, a school store that's student led and ran, and putting out all the Lincoln Railer gear and such. I'm really excited for what they've done. They did over $30,000 worth of merchandise sales last year.
Wow.
But it's good to go out in the community and see Lincoln Railer gear out there that we've created and sold. So really putting promoting us in the community, but also having students learn the entrepreneurship and the skills needed to put together a store and take inventory and all those soft skills that you learn that can really catapult them into employment in our community.
Yeah, remind me about that program, because that was one, I can't remember if when I was in the office with you last year, if we talked about that. I remember you showing me kind of where the kids work and where they put everything together and all of that. Remind me, who can participate in that? What's the, what is that program like? What's it look like during the day? How about some of those things?
Well, it's a specific class that handles all of that. Any student's welcome to participate in that if they ask. Really, it's open before school, after school, and during lunches. But as it's part of their class, they take care of counting the money and doing the inventory, and then also creating and organizing the clothing items that we make.
Yeah, it's a very immersive course, it sounds like, so a great opportunity for those kids. If there is a community member, Mr. Helm, if they're interested in whatever the Lincoln's Locker is putting out in terms of whether it's merchandise, I know there's a lot of other kind of little trinkets and things that they sell. How do they find, where can they come in and check that out? How do they learn more about that and find out what's available?
Lincoln's Locker has a Facebook that will take them to a link, but they're welcome to look us up on our webpage as well. There should be a link to Lincoln's Locker and all the merchandise that's available.
Cool. Nice. Mr. Stricklin, was there something you wanted Mr. Helm to touch on that we haven't gotten to? Or Mr. Helm, was there something you wanted to get to today that we haven't touched on yet?
No, I think everything, as Mr. Helm said, we're off to a good start so far. Each year is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, obviously, was our most successful athletic year ever in school history. So it's going to be tough to ever match that again. But this year has been really good. Kids are really excited. It's just a different group, and it's been a lot of fun.
Good deal. Gentlemen, thanks for making time for us today. Mr. Helm, we'll let you get back to it, and I'll talk with Mr. Stricklin on the other side of the break. Again, that's Dave Helm. He is the principal of Lincoln High School. On the phone with us today with Mr. Dwight Stricklin, the superintendent of Lincoln High School. Our guests on the phone today. More to come on The Morning Show.
WHOW. '24.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn slightly higher, beans double-digit higher, and wheat trading steady. December corn up 4.15 March corn up 2 1/4, 4.34. May corn 4.44 3/4, up 2 1/4. November beans up 16 3/4, 10.56. January beans 10.74, up 17 1/4. March beans 10.86 1/4, up 16 1/2. December wheat down a penny, 5.81 1/2. March wheat down 3/4, $6 1/2. October bean meal 330.90, that's up 4.40. October bean oil 43.61, up 99 cents. Livestock market at this hour. September feeders 244.75, down 35 cents. October live cattle 182.87, down 37 cents. October lean hogs 82.35, up a nickel. Energy market, November crude oil 71.54, up $1.17.
Whether you're getting a little older or just wanting to focus on your health a little more, you need the advantages of a primary care physician from Memorial Care. From detecting long-term illness to planning long-term wellness, our physicians are with you every step of the way. Make today the day you start thinking about tomorrow's health. Make an appointment and begin having regular checkups. Physicians in the Lincoln area are currently accepting new patients. Visit memorial.health for more information.
Rehab, recover, and return home. When you or your loved one use the Bounce Back program at Liberty Village of Clinton. When you're not ready for a nursing home, their Bounce Back program is the answer. Click their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Simply the finest.
Healthy children make better students and stronger athletes. Be their advocate. Schedule their back-to-school physicals today at SIU Center for Family Medicine. Call 217-735-2317 now or click their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHO. WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Mr. Dwight Stricklin is the superintendent of Lincoln High School, our guest on the phone today. And Mr. Stricklin, I know it's budget time at Lincoln High School. How's your budget looking this year?
No, it's looking really good. Lincoln High School is just in a good position that financially we're really solid. And the thing that I'm very proud of, this is my 6th year here, and this will be the 5th year that we've been able to waive all fees for students. So there's no book fees, lab fees, computer fees, and driver's ed fees, parking lot fees. So it's really good that we can help our parents out, because in this day and age with the economy and everything, it's a little tighter. So we're in a position that we can help parents, and we're going to.
What's been the catalyst to you being in that position the last several years?
Well, most schools, we get most of our money from our taxes, and that's based on the value of either your house or your property. And over the last several years, the values of everything has really risen. So when the value goes up, that generates more tax dollars for schools. So we're the recipient of that, and we're very cautious with how we spend our money. So since I've been here, we've had a concerted effort that we spent a lot of time and a lot of money on building improvements and looking at curricular items, trying to improve the curriculum, trying to always keep ahead, have a good staff. So we've been able to take advantage of that, because everything that we do is student driven. So everything we want to do, every decision we make, is what's best for students, and so far it's panned out very well.
Mr. Stricklin, what are some of the primary revenue sources for your budget and Lincoln High School there?
Well, as I said, the main one is our local taxes. That's where we get the majority of our dollars. The other two main revenues is you have money from the state, and then the third one, that's the least amount, is the amount that we get from the federal government.
When it comes to those state and federal dollars, are they pretty reliable? I know that's kind of been a big thing in years past, mostly, and like I mentioned to another superintendent, this is kind of an antiquated question, because it feels like fewer and fewer districts in central Illinois are relying on those state dollars, but have they been reliable? I know there was a time where they really weren't.
Well, so far everything has been, as the economy has been better, it's been more consistent, but the biggest change for schools it's called evidence-based funding. So previously, the way school funding would work is you would get X amount of dollars from the state, and if the value of your property and everything goes up and you got more tax dollars, well, then the next year the state looked at it, well, you're getting more tax dollars, you don't need as much from us, so they would always lower theirs. So it's almost like a net zero result. Whereas now they've got evidence-based funding, and what that states is that whatever amount you get this year, you'll get that same amount the next year. So we're not losing money from the state, and then as we're getting more money from the taxes, that really has helped schools. That's been a game changer for Illinois schools.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And of course, those local dollars, very, very reliable. I mean, they're as reliable as they come, right?
Yes, and so that's our main source of funding, and so it's been really good. But we know in the future the values aren't going to increase as much as they had in the past, which is good for the homeowner. But overall, though, it's put us in a good position that we can do a lot of good things for our students.
Very good. Well, Mr. Stricklin, I've got a couple of minutes yet still with you this morning. I know you've got an opening on your Board of Education. Speak to that with me for a moment.
Yes. We had one of our board members, Alyssa Schmidt, had to resign. She's going to be moving out of the community. So we do have a board opening it's posted on our website. If anyone is interested, they just send a letter of interest to our school board president, Susan Gleason, and it's sgleason@lchsrailers.org. And then at our school board meeting in October, the board will interview all potential candidates, and then they'll go into closed session, and then they'll come out and they will pick the member, and they will seat that member that night.
Okay, gotcha.
Also have school board elections in April, so anyone interested in running for the school board, we'll have 4 positions open this year, and so they just need to either get online at the county clerk's office, or they can go up there and pick up a packet, and there's some things they have to do, and then get all that turned in, and So they have a chance that they're more than welcome to run for the school board.
There you go. So a couple opportunities coming up. And have you had much interest in that open seat at this point?
To my knowledge, we've only had a couple of people show interest so far.
Okay. I mean, that's good. I mean, some districts, they have an opening and they don't have anybody show interest. So, at least there's community members out there that want to be a part of the school board, I guess.
Yeah, because remember, Lincoln High School is a little different here in Lincoln because we have so many different districts. We have the feeder districts, and they all feed into us as the high school district. So that is a little bit unique in this area because most towns have unit districts where you're just a K through 12. So a little different here in Lincoln, but the community seems to like it that way, and so far it's working for us.
Yep, good point. Well made, and a point worth bringing up every now and then as well. Mr. Stricklin, where do folks go to learn about all things Lincoln High School?
We do a great job on our webpage, lchsrailers.org. Get on and follow us on Facebook. I'm very proud of Abby Curry, keeps us updated on our Facebook, and usually there's daily posts of what's going on, any news, any type of thing going on. So we do a really great job on that.
That is Mr. Dwight Stricklin, Superintendent of Lincoln High School. My guest, Network News is now.
The Big 1520 WHOW